Hi, welcome to a new video dedicated to a new quadcopter, a new AP machine, a 350mm quadcopter, so a video platform. This is the Ideafly Mars 350, so it's a big model with a large LiPo battery. Well, they promote that the flying duration is equal to approximately 25 or 23 minutes, so pretty good for such machine. And there are several versions. I've got the basic one with the quadcopter itself and the two-axis gimbal. No GoPro or attach. Be aware, you have to give yours. And there is another version, an FPV version, including a video transmitter, FPV monitors, and some different accessories for the FPV ring. So let's discover the content of the box. Already unboxed behind all the contents. So here is the different elements. So as you can see, already attached GoPro, where here it's a Firefly 6S GoPro clone camera. So it's fitting perfectly, and you have to unscrew these two tiny M2X screws to install your favorite GoPro. I will give the exact dimension of the GoPro mount if yours action cam is not exactly the same, don't have exactly the same dimension than a GoPro 2 or 3. So it comes with this like this. As you can see in the first glance, you have a huge tall central part, and you can get this associated with the battery bay. You have the GPS module on top, okay. And one first remark: the motors are so elevated, okay. I guess to optimize the motor thrust, okay, that's good. And another immediate remark: look the side of the landing gears. You have more from the last extreme point of the canopy to the extremity of the landing gears. You have more than 12 centimeters. So much large enough to welcome the gimbal. So this is a two-axis gimbal weighing 150 grams. Okay, if I'm not wrong. You have a mini USB plug, and the gimbal software remind me a little bit the Hot M gimbal you can find, for example, in some Cherson 622, at least the first model, or the former, I can't remember well, I'm not sure from the Minibet, but I think it's based on an LS-MOS. I'm not sure it's an 8-byte or 32-byte model. Anyway, you have a software when you can at least set reset the EMU, okay? That's good, and flash a new firmware eventually. In terms of connection, you have also on the rear side and the battery bay on top of it a micro USB this time. So to connect the flying control board to the your favorite PC, and then you have actually provided in this CD-ROM you have the ground station software. Okay, actually only in Chinese. So I sent an email to the Ideafly if they plan to release an English version. I didn't have any answers yet, but probably. So with this one, I will make a small part about the ground station software, even if it's in Chinese. You will be able to tune a lot of parameters, the GPS, the attitude in different flight mode, etc. Okay, so what it comes with, you have some auto sighting props. There are exactly some 9450, some DG style. Okay, it means that a motor shaft, it's 8 millimeters on the external diameters, 7 inner. You know, you have this kind of cutted shaft here, and the screw itself, it's 6 if I'm not wrong. So typical DG style props. Okay. What is coming with? You have this charger. It's welcoming from 1S to 4S cellular. You have the balancer plug here with the Banana to XT60 connector. That's cool. A real charger up to 3 ampere for charging. Okay, and with the power cord here I got an American one, but you need a European adapter. You have the instruction manual for the charger, and here the big LiPo, so a 5400, sorry, announced to be 10C as discharge rate and ending with XT60 connector. So I can give you the weight of this LiPo. It's pretty heavy, okay, so it's assumed to offer close to 23 minutes, if I can remember well. So this one weighs 333, almost 34, okay, and if you need some exact dimensions, I can give you the exact one, okay, so it's 10, okay, yes, 10, 97 millimeters by 30 by 38. As you will be able to see, you have maybe you can install a little bit longer okay, LiPo, maybe 1 centimeters more longer, maybe 2 maximum, okay, if you want to be able to close the battery bay. In terms of flying controlling board, you will see that it's a 32 flying controlling board, because I will now intercalate the internal part of this Ideafly, okay. But before to visualize, you have to know that you have to remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, 5 screws per arm, so 20 plus exactly plus no, sorry, because the rear is different. So 1, 2, 3, okay, so 3 by 4, okay, 18, 24, sorry, plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 10 multiplied by 2, so 34 screws and 3 screws to split into the machine, okay. So it's a little bit a long synchronization, but nothing difficult, okay. That's pretty cool. Okay, so this is the interior part of the Ideafly Mars 350. So the electronics and the general job seems pretty good. So as you can see here, all the ASC are connected through GST connectors. Signal wires also directly connected to via 1.25 mini GST connector, 3-wire position. You have a general PDB, as you can see here. So this is the voltage regulation part here. The main MCU, it's 32 byte ARM core. The 2.4 GHz receiver with the antenna here, okay. And if everything looks clean, you have the GPS plug here. So I detach from to show you. So the GPS module is behind this small sphere, okay. Maybe I will add some AMI papers or tape inside to protect better, well, if I've got some problem with the GPS fixing. But the general soldering job is pretty clean. I've got 2 extra wires here, and well, I hope we'll be able to see there is the main general plug here with all the channel there. So one is going to the pitch gimbal control, and you have 2 other, maybe if you want to control the roll, if you want. Well, sounds pretty good. The soldering job is nice, and ESCR don't have any information. I don't see any pads. I will try to guess the type of chips used. Everything is hot glue here. Not sure it's banana plug, but it's hot glue for the mounter maintenance. Okay, sounds pretty good. Okay, so actually the ground station software is only in Chinese, but I guess there will be an English version. One word about the transmitter. It's no visible antenna, And here, this is the flight mode switch. So when it's up position, you are in altitude hold. When it's completely down, it's a GPS hold. And when you are in the middle, you are in circling mode, okay, to make a tour, and you will adjust the radius of your circle via your stick command. This one is to engage the return to home, okay, and this one is to control the pitch of your gimbal. No LCD display, and you will need 4 AA batteries, okay. Any MH batteries are working, and for the FPV version, you have a 4.3 FXT FPV monitor you have to attach here, okay. Concerning the transmission range, is announced to have something between 500 and 600 meters. The 2.4 GHz receiver is based on the RF chip A7105, so probably it's a FlySky based radio frequency protocol, okay, so it's a known one, and it probably will be able to fly this quadcopter with another type of transmitter, a FlySky one, okay, so that's a good news. So it lacks with this one a feedback, for example, the RSSI or some telemetry information would have been a great plus, and is not the case. To know, for example, how many satellites you are currently fixing, it's the old school way, so you have to check the status LEDs, and when you have, for example, one solid flashing green LEDs, you are and why you are being in altitude hold, it's normal. When you go to the GPS, if I remember well, you will have 2, and in circling 4, okay, some stuff like this. So the number of flashing green LEDs will give you the actual flight mode, and as well the quality of the GPS reception. As soon as you will see at least some red one, you know that you are not currently receiving the maximum number of satellites. When you engage the return to home, you have to know that the satellite is first, this quadcopter is first climbing to 20 meters high if you were lower than 20 meters, okay, before to start the landing. What I can say about this quadcopter, so the total weight is more than 1 kilo for sure, because you already have more than 300 grams, you have 1 kilo too, so it's a little bit heavier, okay, heavy in my point of view. So one other remark before I will start to on this machine, the maximum positive angle of the gimbal, I think, is not really important, okay. Look that, it could be a little bit better. It's blocked by a piece of metal here. So when you will move very fast, I don't know, probably in altitude hold you can go very fast, even in altitude hold. It could be a drawback because you cannot, you will block on the extremity of the metal bar here. So it could be a problem. So probably the speed of this quadcopter is a little bit limited, okay. So it's for me it's a little drawback of the gimbal design. Actually, it's there is a version 3 reference somewhere, and you have a button here to flash the firmware of the here, just nearby the mini USB. You have a button to flash a new firmware for the gimbal. Let's have a look to the port, the gimbal port. So what you have the pitch servo plug here, okay, to control the pitch angle, the plus 12 volt to power the gimbal, and here I think this port is for the FPV version. You have the ground and the video signal, so you will have to probably to attach special cable to the USB output of your GoPro and go to the here to send the video signal here. And inside they should have, for the FPV version, a video transmitter added. Okay, so I will power the everything, even if, of course, with prop off. Okay, and after I will make some small part dedicated to the ground station. So one for the main flying control board and one for the gimbal. So I will power everything. through the XT60 connector. Okay. And after a couple of seconds you will have the music. Okay, the ESC finished to boot. You have to know you have individual ESCs, that's cool. They are well soldered, well integrated into the main structure. So electronically the building is clean, so no big problem. And here is the actual gimbal controls through this port. As you can see, I can control. Okay, no problem. You can hear some vibration when I start to reach the maximum. Okay, so maybe some, well, not so much, but you may meet. This is the maximum angle of this gimbal. Could be a little bit better, but anyway, it's like this. So you can see that the job is correctly not bad, but look that when I apply maximum angle, it's vibrating, so it's block, but the gimbal seems to work well, the job. We will see in flight. So I'm a little bit disappointed by this maximum angle of the gimbal actually. So concerning the status LEDs, it's somewhere here behind. You can see that you can see two the green LEDs. Okay, 4, so it means that I am in a circling mode. So if I press in GPS mode, okay, you have only 2 green flash. And since you can see some red flash, it means that the actual GPS reception, I am indoors, is not amazing. As soon as you will receive the number of satellites, all the red flashing lights will disappear. Okay. So sounds promising. Okay, that's cool. Okay, I will tune the gimbal, and the gimbal work seems good. Okay, so now I will show some details about the ground station software. Actually, only in Chinese. Okay, let's take over that. Okay, so this is a part dedicated to the ground station software. So actually, in the CD-ROM, you have only the Chinese version of the software, as well as the instruction manual, this time in English. So you have to plug a micro USB cable on the top of the battery bay, and then you can run, after installing the software, you can run the software. So as I said, everything is in Chinese, but I will plug it. And you don't need to power the quadcopter with the LiPo battery. The plus 5 volts of the USB port is enough to power everything. So as well the receiver, the 2.4 GHz. So when everything is okay, you should click on connect. Okay, and you have a green light there. So you have this first panel is nothing else than the resume of all the parameters associated with, as far as I understand. So for example, if you turn on the transmitter, you will see, for example, the first channel. Okay, you can see that actually you have the aileron, elevator, throttle. Okay, channel 3, and the other channel 4. You have actually this here, if I understand the translation in Chinese, are nothing else than kind of not PID settings, but the values of the sportivity of the roll, the pitch, and the yaw, if I'm not wrong. You know that you have a receiver installed in ppm. Okay, here I can remember well. And you have to know that when you engage return to home, you have first to climb at 20 meters if you were in a lower altitude. So if you want to choose some parameters, you have to go to this one. It's nothing else than this here. So you have to know, for example, that you have the different flight mode. So this one should be altitude hold, the central is circling, and you have the pure GPS here. Okay, if you want, you have other flight mode available. If you want to change, it's possible. Here you have the type of receiver installed, so it's at accepting PPM, S-bus, or PWM, I guess. Here I don't know, maybe. Okay, and the second panel here is to more or less to tune the flying characteristic of your machine. If you want something more aggressive, more sporty or less sporty, you can tune this parameter for all the 3 axes. The last one is to calibrate the accelerometer of the flying countering board. You have to press this button to start the calibration procedure. You have another button here, and then you can tune, for example, the voltage alarm, so before to display some flashing orange LEDs, and the emergency voltage to engaging the automatic landing when you are closing to this value. Here you can select the automatic landing or maybe return to home. I'm not sure about the Chinese, and the different type of value for each cells of your 3-pole battery. Maybe you can change a little bit this value. This one, I don't know exactly. So, and the last one is probably, yes, to tune the maximum altitude. So so if you want only to stay, let's say 15 meters, you change it and you save the new value here by pressing this button. So here is probably the speed of the your motor when you arm them. So to arm the quadcopter, you have to push in lower inner, like I said previously. Okay, so it was the first ground station software. I hope there will be an English version as soon as possible, because I didn't understand everything yet. And let's now focus more on the software associated with the Gimbal. Okay, welcome to this part dedicated to the Gimbal software. You will need this time a mini USB cable to install on front. Okay, and to connect to your PC. And it won't be enough. You will need also to power your quadcopter, okay, to power more the gimbal. And then you will be able to run the 2-axis gimbal tools here. And then if everything is okay, you should have this link here, and you can see the in the sensor you can see some varying information display, so about the accelerometers, etc. of the machine. So you can, for example, calibrate the EMU of the gimbal here, okay, after installing on a flat surface. And this software is also useful to flash a new firmware. Actually, I've got the software version 15035 from Ideafly GBC. Okay, I don't know what is it, but it is probably there is a new version. I don't know exactly. So eventually you can select a new firmware here. I'm not sure. I got flashed from a download from the Ideafly a new potential firmware here. So probably, I'm not sure if it's the same. There is a firmware here. So from October. So I'm not sure. I've got the most recent. Okay, and you will be able to flash by selecting first this file. Okay, and I guess you have to localize, to browse to this file. I won't do it because actually it seems to work fine. So, and I want to make the test with the default settings of this machine. Okay, thank you for watching, and see you in the video of in-flight dedicated to this Ideafly Mars 350.